what I want to ask you first of all is what success looks like to you. I am not going to delve deep into this because you guys were here the other night. Instagram, you should know this. But the other night I talked about the fact that this used to be success for me, floating in all the dollars. And now we've moved on from this, and success to me now is health, happiness, and freedom. So what I want for you guys is what I've done for myself and what I'm currently still doing, and building a business around my life and not the other way around. I'm not in the business of hustle. I'm not in the business of saying to you, you got to show up on Instagram every single night, and you got to be posting all the time and doing lives all the time. Absolutely not. That's not sustainable. We don't want that for you. But guys, business is hard. Being an entrepreneur is hard. Being a business owner is hard. But hang on a minute. This is what we tell ourselves over and over again. And this is what other people tell us. But what if that's absolute BS? Like, what if it doesn't have to be? What if we surround ourselves with like-minded business women and we all network with each other and we all learn from each other and peer-to-peer learning, and we grow together and we realize that it actually doesn't have to be that hard, Sorry for cursing. And here comes Lola, like just at the key minute. Just in case I thought I was getting away with it, I wasn't. Here she comes. And if I don't pop her up there, she'll probably be around the house barking. So she's in now. What if it didn't have to be, guys? So what if you could build the business of your dreams and live your dream life? It's time for us to step up and claim what's ours. Step up and create the life that we actually want. So how many of you feel like that your family life suffers a bit because you're too busy in the business? Do you ever find yourself saying, oh, I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy? And then that becomes kind of the buzzword. I said this the other night, busy is the new stupid. Let's get rid of busy and let's become profitable. Let's focus on making profits in our business, and the rest of the time, spending it doing the stuff that we love. How many of you feel that guiltiness? This happens to me. And guys, I'm not over here being Miss Perfect, because this still happens to me, where I go, I feel guilty if I'm supposed to be working, if it's in the traditional working hours and I'm like off out hanging around with the kids or off having coffee. I'm like, oh God, I better go back to the desk. And I'm like, I have to catch myself and say, why do I have to, why am I feeling guilty for, hanging out with the kids? But then sometimes I'll be working and I feel guilty because I'm not with the kids, and vice versa. So, as mammies, I think we get that guilty feeling. I feel this a lot because this was me all of the time. I always had this constant push-pull. Should be working, should be with the kids, should be doing this, should be doing that. I remember when Luke was born. Luke was 9. But the summer that Luke was born, I decided that I was going to, I decided I was going to literally work and mind him for the summer and mind the kids for the summer, but try to spend as much time with them as possible, but be as effective in work as possible. So what I did was I loaded up my phone at the time with all of the apps that I could use, my Xero app for my accounts, my Facebook, and I was, at the time I was building websites and doing all marketing and everything for people. So I got my phone all built up with all these apps, and I used to go to the playground. It was a lovely summer that year, and I used to go to the playground and I'd sit. And I was breastfeeding Luke. He was probably 6 months old or something. But I'd be in the playground, right? And the kids, the 2 girls, would be playing on the whatever they were playing on, and I'd be sitting there and I'd be alternating between feeding Luke on the boob or going onto the sorry lads, if there's any lads watching on Instagram or anything, and then on the phone, and working away. But I absolutely loved that, because I love to be working and I love my work, but it felt like I was getting it all done. But I remember a woman walking by me, and I had Luke in the little carrier beside me, and I was sitting there on my phone, and she just gave me daggers, and she was like, and I think she was obviously going, look at her on her phone, not looking at her baby. And then I just wanted to shout and say, hold on a minute, I've taken this whole summer, I'm spending all this time with these, but I'm building a business as well, and it's going great. And but it is funny, we do judge and we do think, but that summer really made me realize that I can organize it better, and I can organize my work and do everything. Don't get me wrong, as the kids get bigger, you can't really be sitting on your phone, but when the baby's 6 months old and asleep beside you and the girls are up and down the slide, you're good. But I went to Orlando then a few years ago, and I went to this talk, guys, and this guy called Ed Milet. Look him up, right? He's a mindset guy, but he was on the stage, and I was in Orlando, which the actual talk was in Disneyland, or in just off Disney, and I was feeling so guilty because I was in Orlando anyway without the kids, you know. And then he says, how many of you here are parents, you know? And I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, that's me, that's me. And he said, you are neglecting your kids. And I went, oh shit, he's right. You know, in my head, I was like, they were all my things I'd be thinking about. But then he said something that really has stuck with me since. He said, you are neglecting your kids if you do not reach your potential. And that made me go, ooh. And he actually crouched down like as if he was talking to a little child. And he said, how can you say to your little son or your little daughter, you can be and do and have what you want to do. But then you go off and you burn yourself into the ground, or you work yourself to the bone, and you don't take holidays, or, you know, you don't do the things you want to do. And that really has stuck with me over the years. And I feel that it's my duty for my girls and for Luke, for my girls especially, to show them that they can be and do and have what they want to do, and they can build a business or be career women, not at the expense of their family. Because I think that's what we've been taught, haven't we, over the years? It's like, oh, you're either a career woman or your family, you know, and it's supposed to be hard and all the things. So that's what we want to get away from, because so many of us are settling for a life that's less than what we were made for. Like we're all women here, are we? We're all women here. We might not be on Instagram. Sorry, boys. Sorry, boys on Facebook if you're watching. But you know, we are strong, powerful women. And I've said this before, there's no man on this earth exists without a woman. We know that. So we are strong, and we've got to stand in our power, you know? But anyway, got off my soapbox on that when I went off on a tangent there for a bit. But I have grown a 6-figure business, but I know that there's more for me. So what is holding you back? And what is holding us as a collective back? And I can hand on my heart tell you absolutely what holds me back. And if anyone is brave enough to type it in the chat, please do, because I know what holds me back. And I know what holds you guys back, and everybody else in the whole world, really. And it's fear. Yeah, we are getting held back by fear because we second guess, we worry about what people think. There's the fear of failure. Okay, so the fear of failure is, oh God, what if I launch this business and it doesn't work? What if I launch my online course and nobody buys it? What if I launch my new product and nobody buys it? What if I go live on Facebook and nobody watches? What if I, me, Denise Inspired, do a free webinar and nobody turns up? That's happened to me before, by the way. I think actually, I tell a lie, I think one person turned up. One person turned up on a webinar one time, and I hadn't done a very good job of promoting it, obviously. I'd been a bit lax, and one person turned up. But guess what? That one person became an authority builder. That one person still works with me now, 3 years later, and had brilliant success. So we don't need masses of people to hear our message. We only need the people who are ready to take action. Does that make sense? So we could all fear failure, and we all do. But what we have to do is push through it. So there's fear of failure, but there's also fear of success. A lot of people will say to me, well, what if I do a video and like my friend from 15 years ago sees me, or the girl I used to go to school with sees me and says, oh my God, who'd she think she is, or what's she doing, you know? So we also have that little fear. Or as I was talking to a client the other day, and he said to me, God, like, you know, if I keep doing my videos, what happens if suddenly I get so busy that I can't control all the leads because there's too many of them? And I was like, wouldn't that be amazing? You know, then you get to hire somebody to help you. And it's like, okay, because that's a new problem. That's a growth problem. A lot of people who work with me, they go through different stages. And one of the first stages would be kind of cash flow. You know, they come to you and they're like, right, I need to regulate cash flow. I need to get more money into the business. Great, let's work on that. So we work together on that. And they grow, and they're getting the cash flow in, and they're becoming fully booked, and they're like, brilliant, you know, the money's coming in, and then they go, oh shit, Denise, I have a new problem. And the new problem is they're fully booked. So they've kind of gone, I'm either at capacity and I can't take any more clients on, or I'm getting tired and I'm going to burn myself out. So they're the two things. They're growth problems. So then we stop and we say, okay, so the next step of it is buying back your time. Most people are working one-to-one. Yeah. So when you're working one-to-one, people pay you for your service or your product, and you deliver and then you move on. What we want to get to is at least one to a few. So if you're selling a product, I don't want you to sell one product. So if you say to me, if I say to you, oh, I'm selling these pens, and you say, oh, I'll buy a pen, I don't want you to buy one pen. Buy 10 pens, buy one pen per month for the next year. I don't want your one pen. I don't want you to buy one. Does that make sense? I learned this way back when I was building websites, because I'd build a website for somebody and then they would go off into the distance and then I'd have to try and find a new client. Then I started to build websites with a membership. So instead of building the website, I built my website and then I told them, sorry, my daughter's just left her WhatsApp on the laptop and it's going to ping away there. So I'm going to close that down. So instead of me selling just the website, because if you think about it, a website is only as good as the traffic that you're sending to it. So a website is no fucking use without Instagram, without Facebook, without all the marketing. So instead I sold a website with a marketing package. Now I had reoccurring income. Does that make sense? We want to get you into that mind frame of nearly like a one-off sale is not even worth it, hardly. I know it is. Now I'm being flippant, but you know what I mean. We want to get you to the stage where you're going, okay, let's look for the reoccurring income. Let's look for the packages. Let's look to sell 6 pens instead of 1 pen. So fear holds us back. There's the fear of failure. There's the fear of success. Fear to show your face, of course, that's a big one. Fear of the tech. What if I press the wrong button? What if I go live and, I do something wrong or I say something wrong? So what, guys? What's the worst that can happen, Fear of judgment is a big one. People will judge you. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, nobody will judge you. Everyone's going to be nice. I know people judge me. I know people on Instagram see me and go, Jesus, there she is again. I wish she'd shut up. I'm sick of looking at Denise Inspired on there talking crap. Guess what? They're not my people. Does that make sense? Some of my best friends, one of my best friends, it'd be funny actually if somebody tells me I say this, but my best friend Steve, that I hang around with since I'm a kid, blocked me on Facebook. Blocked me, yeah. And then he says to me, when I started to do my videos on Instagram, he was like, oh my God, you've gone to Instagram now and now I have to block you there too. And I was like, brilliant. You're not my target market, pal. So move on. Like Instagram, Facebook, the clock one that we don't mention, all of the social media channels are too profitable for our business to be used to keep in touch with friends and family. Use your WhatsApp for friends and family. Use your phone, ring people, Instagram and Facebook and all of that. They get to be powerful business tools where we talk about what we're selling. We craft our message, we put it out there, we grow our audiences and we make sales. Does that make sense, guys? People are going to judge you, so they may as well be judging you for having a successful business. They may as well judge you for like getting out there and showing your face, for building up a business and having success. Yeah? Karen says, makes sense. Absolutely. Yeah? So guys, the first step to building that confidence on camera is actually recognizing that you are experts. So many of you will say to me, I'll say, are you an expert in what you do? And you go, well, kind of, or, nearly, or, well, there is such and such down the road who is doing it a few more years than me. How many of us do that? So I want you, let's do this, guys. Drop it in the comments. I am an expert. Put it in there. Proclaim it. Claim it from the universe. Because, guys, the quicker that we stop all the shite and stop all the, oh, I'm too scared. And my husband says to me, stop that meekness. Sometimes I'm a bit meek if I'm feeling a bit hormonal or a bit. So sometimes I'm kind of like, oh, I'm not feeling great. And he's like, that's not you, Denise. Stop that crap. And I'm like, oh yeah. I forgot who I am. Shoulders back, forget the crap, push forward. I am an expert. If you have to go as far as to write it in your books in the mornings, if you're doing your journaling or you're doing your gratitude or whatever, write it in big pen. I am an expert. It is my duty to share my expertise. It is my duty to share my beautiful products. It is my duty to show up. Makes sense, guys? Because that's where the gold is. That's where that belief is. So we are all experts in something and we can all become an authority in something. So what's the difference between an authority and expert? I touched on this the other night. Experts know things, but authorities are known for things. So we want you to become known for something. Yeah. So I'm an expert. I'm an expert. I'm an expert. I'm an expert. Yes, you are. Brilliant. So this is my little mantra, guys, and I want you guys to just indulge me for this one. I like to just put my hand on my heart, and this is something that I have on my wall in my office, and I do read it out and I do remind myself. So read it with me or listen or whatever you want, but this is my little mantra for the authority builder and for myself. So I am an authority in my industry. I am an expert at what I do because I am, and I know I am. And you guys are too. So I am an authority in my industry. I am an expert in what I do. I will push aside my fears and I will grow the business that I deserve. I will do all this while staying true to my values, very important. And I'll do this while building a better family life for myself, my kids, my partner, my family, whoever I have in my life. Yeah, that is the ethos. That's my ethos. That's my mission statement with everything I do. And I will do all of this because I deserve it. I deserve to have a business and life that I love. You see, a lot of us are not reaching the potential in our businesses because we don't actually feel worthy. And that stings, and that still stings me because I know that that has held me back in the past and still creeps in sometimes. Still creeps in sometimes where you kind of go, And I know that's from childhood, and I know that's from all the crap that we grew up with. We won't go into that anyway. Someday I'll write a book. Anyway, we won't talk about that. But together, let's fix it, guys. Love it or hate it, social media is by far the best, easiest, and cheapest way for us to get our message out there. So we got to embrace it, because if you are like this, are you hiding? Yeah? Are you afraid to show up on social media? Who does she think she is? What's she doing now? Look at her there now doing that. Is she off her rocker? You know, people have say that to my face. You're off your rocker, and I'm like, thank you very much. Yes, I am. And that's what happens. I remember after Luke was born, right? So I got postnatal depression on all three of my kids. So obviously tough. A lot of us go through it. But when I had Luke, it hit me hard. So getting back to work after Luke was real important to me. I needed to get back into the saddle. I was putting, I suppose, hanging my self-worth on business and income coming in and stuff like that. So being off work, looking after the babies really, really messed with my brain. Does that make sense? Because I wasn't getting, that kind of business coming in, and I wasn't. So I struggled after all three babies. But anyway, first event that I went to, Luke was 3 months old, so still very new. And I went to a business event to dip my toe back in and get myself moving again, And I walked in, it was in the Hilton Hotel in Dublin. And I walked in, and I walked into this girl that I kind of half knew. I knew her from being online, from commenting on my stuff. And she went, Denise Inspired. And I went, hi, and this was 9 years ago, guys, because Luke's 9 now. And I was like, hi. And she went, oh my God, I love your videos. You are just so confident. And I just want to do videos like you. I burst into tears. I went, oh. I'm laughing now, guys, but I swear to God, I know that girl now, and we still laugh about it, but I burst into tears because I was like, because I didn't feel anything like what she was saying. And the reason why I tell you that is because every single content creator that I know, every person that speaks up on stage, every person that's, doing videos, we all second guess. We all go, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? But the difference between people who are creating content and building a business is they go, fuck it, I'm going to do it. Does that make sense? They might not say the F word. Sorry, I'm very rude tonight. That's a few times I've said it. They might say, feck it, I'm going to do it. Or they might be more polite than me and go, I think I'll do it. But you get my point. Yeah, it's digging deep, finding courage and getting it done. And it's just parking that confidence thing. So many, I was speaking to a group of TY students, right? And there was 40 of them in the class. And it was, you know, a challenge keeping a whole class of 40 TY students for a full day engaged in what I was talking about. But one thing we talked about was the fact that you're kind of given this label. Oh, they're the confident kids. Oh, that's the class clown. You know, these are the more studious kids. You know, these are the brainy ones. And we take on these labels in school and we kind of think that that's that. That's not that. You know, we can be the confident one. We can be, you know, the chatty one, or it's all experience and growth and pushing ourselves, you know. And Karen says, I get so nervous, then I forget what to say. I just can't do it. I 100% got you on that one, Karen. That is so common, so common. So I'm going to give you guys three, actually, I was going to say 3 tips. There's 10 tips tonight. So we'll talk about that one in a minute. So guys, maybe you're hiding at the back of the class and trying not to make eye contact with me in case I ask you a question or get you involved in the conversation. Maybe you're avoiding that hot seat and playing small and playing safe. I think to a certain extent, a lot of us do that in our businesses. A little bit vanilla. I actually like vanilla ice cream, but vanilla is supposedly unexciting, normal, conventional, boring. So we don't want to be any of it. All right. We want to be there. As I say to my kids, I want to be extra. You know, my kids are like, oh, you're so extra. And I say, thank you very much. Yes, I am. So to get something that we never had, we have got to do things that we've never done. The results that have gotten us to where we are now, wherever you are in your business, I want you to draw a little line in the sand today in your books. Say, you know, this is where I am, but I am ready to take that next step forward, and I'm ready to take that next leap. So wherever you are now, what got you here is not getting you to that next step. So whatever your revenue goals are for 2025, you got to step it up. Does that make sense? Things have to be a bit different. And I know that from myself. I know that from my clients, that you've got to shake it up a bit, break the mold, and create new habits in your business to reach those next revenue goals. And maybe it's not revenue, maybe revenue is going brilliantly, but you know, your quality of life gets to change. So maybe some tweaks need to change in that sense. Lisa, hi Lisa, love this, resonates big time. If you want to come to Zoom, click the link in my bio. But thank you. So maybe you're just starting out and building a business and you want to put these foundations in place, or maybe you're at 5 figures and you want to push to 6 figures. Wherever you are in your business, maybe you've done a few live videos, or maybe you've done a webinar, or made a few reels, but then you've gone quiet. I say to my clients all the time, guys, doing 1 reel is great. Doing 2 reels is better. Doing 3, doing 4, that's where we want to get to. Because if you do 1 reel and then you wait a week and then you do another reel, it's like starting again. It's like, I kind of liken it to going to the gym. You know, when you say to yourself, I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm going to go for a run, or even a walk, or whatever, and you say, right, I'm going to go, and you go to the gym and you do your hour-long class or whatever, and the next day you're in fucking bits, yeah? And you leave it another week because you're wrecked, and then you go to the gym again. You're starting from scratch. But if you go 2 days later and you do another class, and then you go a couple of days later and you do another class, you're starting to build a bit of momentum, and things get what? Easier. Yeah, that's what we want in our businesses. We want to get momentum and things will get easier. Karen says that she gets so nervous she forgets what you say. That is so normal. But I'll tell you, Karen, you're never going to get any better at it unless you practice. All right? And that's literally it. That's literally it. I say this all the time, and I must try and find my first Facebook Live. I want to say it was probably 9 or 10 years ago, whenever Facebook Live came to Ireland, and I'm like a startled rabbit. Hello, am I live? Hi, I'm Denise. You know, and it's just ridiculous. If I'd have stopped there, you know, I would never have succeeded, but I didn't. I went on and I did it, and I get better each time. Am I perfect? Absolutely feckin' not. I hate making covers for my reels. I put up a reel and I make a cover and oh, I don't like that. I don't care. Or it's half done and I'm like, oh, I just need to get it done. There's some things that I just don't like doing. That's okay. You know? So we've got to put systems in place and processes in place so that we get to show up and we start to grow our businesses. It's time to step up. It's time to push through and get it done. So today I'm going to help you with the confidence to show up and shine, the confidence to become the go-to within your industry. Does that sound good? So it's not enough for you just to be lurking. If you're watching on Zoom, watching on Facebook, watching on Instagram, no lurking, okay? I want you to get involved. I want you to be present, and I want you to agree that you're going to do the work. Whether we continue to work together or not after this, of course, I want you all to be authority builders. But if you continue on the authority builder with me or you don't, I want you to do the work that we talk about tonight. I want you to take action on what I teach. Because if you take action on what I talked about the other night, what I talk about tonight, and what I'm talking about tomorrow morning, I can guarantee you'll get results. Again, Mel Robbins, confidence is a skill. It is not a personality trait. So do you find that you make plans to execute and then you don't follow through? So you say to yourself, I'm going to make a reel. Or you make a reel and then you say, right, I'm going to do 2 reels a week now. Or I'm going to do 3 reels a week. And then you forget. Or you fall off the wagon, you know? Or I'm going to do a live. Or I'm going to show my face in my stories. And then you forget, so you don't get it done. Every time we don't follow through on these promises to ourselves, we're letting ourselves down. And we're telling our subconscious that we're not worth it. We don't want that, guys. We want our subconscious and our whole self to know that we're worth it and we're going to do it. So today I'm going to give you 10 steps to increasing your confidence, both online and offline. So buckle up, ladies, and let's get this done. So step 1 is getting clear on your message. Okay? Getting clear on your message. Karen says she gets so nervous. She says, forgets what she's going to say. That is, you are not clear on your message, Karen. Okay? So when we are clear on what we offer, we can present it easily. So I want to ask you guys if you have an elevator pitch. And if the answer is no, you get to fix that. What is an elevator pitch? An elevator pitch is how you present to somebody if you met them in an elevator. 30 seconds to present your business. Who are you? Who do you help? How do you help them? I'm Denise Inspired. I help business women make more money in their business by helping them to introduce digital products. Done. I don't stutter over that. I don't forget it. I don't say the wrong thing. Why? Because I've said it 9 million times, and that's literally it. Because I've written it in my book. I've changed it. I've said it. I've changed it again. I've said it again. I've said it on video. I've said it to people face to face. Practice makes perfect, guys. So get clear. Take a photograph of that. Who are you? Who do you help? And how do you help them? And get that clear in your mind, because it's one of the fundamentals of marketing. Whether you're marketing online or offline, it's so, so, so important. Because when we come to what we call magnetic marketing, we want to draw in our perfect customer. So you've got to speak directly to them. There's an old marketing saying that if you're trying to talk to everybody, you're talking to who? Feckin' nobody, because no one's listening. Yeah? So we're going to focus on that niche. We're going to focus on who we're helping. Get super clear on who we're helping. Yeah? So what's your message? Do you really know who your customer is? Like, have you got into the mind of your customer, why they buy from you? What's the problem that you solve for them? These are all fundamentals of marketing. Step number 2, practice. All right. Sounds simple because it is. Practice makes perfect. So different ways to practice. You can record yourself on your phone. You know, just go into your camera roll, hit record and start to talk. Watch it back, cringe. We all cringe when we watch ourselves back because we go, do I fucking sound like that? Is that how I sound? Is that what I look like? Oh my God. You know, we all do that. So the more we watch ourselves back, the more we listen to ourselves, the easier it's going to become. Do not give it to your boyfriend, your partner, your girlfriend, your nanny, your mom, your sister, and say, here, what do you think of that? 9 times out of 10, they'll go, because guess what? They want to keep you safe. They want to keep you safe. Most of our loved ones are going, why would you do that? Why would you put a video on Instagram? Why would you do that? You know, because they want to keep us safe. They are not business owners, most of them, and they don't have what we want, most of them. And what I mean that with love. Don't take advice from somebody who is not where you want to go. I remember working with a client, and she was a bookkeeper, and she was working doing her live videos and everything, and she said that she showed her video to her brother, who's also an accountant, and he was giving out saying, oh no, you can't put that, you can't be doing that. And I was like, oh, is your brother, does he use Instagram and has he done videos? And she's like, no, he's not online or anything. And I'm like, you can't, it's a world of difference. Look at people who are where you want to be and take advice from them. Does that make sense? So different ways that you can practice. Record yourself on your phone. Go live in a secret Facebook group. And what I mean by that is I have a secret Facebook group, of course, for the Authority Builder. If you guys join that, that's what you will be doing. But you can also set one up with yourself and some business colleagues. You could set a Facebook group up with one person, and that one person is yourself. So there's a little tip. And you could go live in there every day, and no one's going to see it but you. But you'll get used to the buttons and how to do it and your lighting and all those things. You can also go live on Facebook using the private setting, which is good too. You can go live in Instagram and you can select practice mode. So going live on Instagram and nobody can see you. So you can get used to all the little buttons. And you can also, of course, old school it like we used to learn in sales training back in the day. Practice in front of the mirror. Yeah? Practice. The more clear, Karen, this is for you and everybody else, because we all think that we'll forget. The more clear we get on our message, the easier it is to roll off our tongue. The more we show up on video, the easier it is to show up on video. When I go to an event now, when you guys go to events for the enterprise board, for women in business, this type of thing, there's nearly always somebody there with a camera and they say, oh, will you give us a testimonial? Most business owners go, oh, no, sorry, I want all of you guys to go, yes, I will, and like, hey, I had a great time at this event. My business is, and you introduce your business. The more exposure, the better. And because you've practiced your message and you know your elevator pitch, it's easy to do. Does that make sense? I'm always first to put my hand up when someone says, oh, can you give us a testimonial for the event? Absolutely, I can. I have got business from videos like that, where the video goes out on the other person's website. It's a testimonial for them, from me. Next thing, I'm getting an inquiry to me. Oh, I saw your video on such and such's website. Can I talk to you about doing business? Visibility, guys. Yeah, always be aware of that. This all sounds simple because it is. Practice makes perfect. Choose your platform and go for it. Stop second guessing. What's the worst that can happen? Like Ralph breaks the internet. No, that can't happen. You can't break the internet. You can press the wrong button. I said the other night, I don't know whether I said it on the other night, but I told the story the other week, but I'll quickly tell you in case I didn't. A client of mine called Sandra, and she was doing great on Facebook Live, but she'd never used Instagram and she was new to it. You might know her. She has a fashion shop in Cahir, in Tipperary. So she tries on clothes and she shows you the dresses, and you can buy off her, and she shows them on Instagram. So she had never done an Instagram Live, and she was like, oh, Denise, I've got to do this. And I said, right, hop on and do it. So she did it. But in the middle of it, she was finished and she didn't know how to end it. So she's on Instagram Live and there was people watching, and she's like, Denise, I don't know how to end the video. And I'm like, she can't hear me, so I have to type, and I'm like, press the X in the top right hand corner, press. And she's literally like this, what till I do? Guys, it was so funny. But when she finished the video, she immediately rang me and she was like, oh my God, Denise. And I was like, that was brilliant. And it was. She made so many sales. Her followers loved it because everyone went, Sandra, well done, you did it. Because they became cheerleaders because they liked the vulnerability of it. Does that make sense? So never be afraid to get on and do your first live video or your first reel and go, guys, this is my first video. I am so nervous. Brilliant. People will go, well done, so never be afraid to be that vulnerable. So step number 3 is stop hiding. We've got to start showing our faces, guys. Yeah, take the mask off. Showing up on camera is hands down the best way to grow your business. Why? Because people buy from people. Your dream clients want to see you, the face, the voice, the passion behind the business. Every time you show your face, you're building trust. You're building a connection, a human connection, and of course, you're building authority. And that's what turns followers into customers. Yeah? Followers into customers. Think about anyone you've ever bought from. Think about when you see something online, like a product or something online, and you go, oh, that looks great. You don't immediately buy it. You always go and look at the page and see, okay, who's selling this? You know, do I know the person? Is it a real person? Is it a scam? God forbid, you know? The more we show our faces and the more people get to trust us, the more they know that we are real. And of course, it's not a scam, you know? Step number 4 is be consistent. It's our old friend consistency, but I can tell you now that consistency beats skill every single time. You could be an absolute expert in video marketing. You could be an absolute expert in your videos. They could be beautiful. You could know how to do all the bells and whistles on your reels and all the fancy stuff and all the shiny stuff. But if you're not showing up and you're not actually doing them, it's not worth the crap. Yeah? So consistency beats it. The person with the phone in their hand, speaking into the phone every couple of days is going to do way better than the person who spends a week creating the most beautiful reel with all the shiny stuff and putting it up. Okay, so get that out of your head. Consistency beats skill every single time. Okay. Step number 5 is, of course, building relationships. Care about your followers. Care about your customers. It's simple business maths. Care about them and they will grow. It's the same with the followers as it is at your customers. The way you would love on your customers and the way you do your customer service, do that with your followers. Simply care. Number 6 is stop obsessing about the numbers and love on who is watching. I said it the other night, if I told you I could put you in front of 50 people and you could deliver your message to them, absolutely, you'd be delighted. Then why would you moan about 50 views on a video? Embrace it. Yeah, views compound, followers compound, sales compound. The more we show up, the better we get. What happens to business owners is you create a reel, you put it up, you get, 50 views in it and you go, oh, I only got 50 views. This isn't really working for me. Social media doesn't work. I've had people who come back to me and say to me, I've been posting for 2 weeks now and, I haven't seen much of a difference. And I'm like, come back to me when you're posting for 3 months. And there's the difference. I guarantee, hand on my heart, if you consistently post for 90 days, you will change your business and change your life. 100%. It works, guys. But you have to put the work in. You've got to work on the fundamentals to figure out that your message is right. You've got to make sure that you have offers, things to sell. You've got to make sure that you're hitting your perfect customer, all of those things. But I guarantee you, if you put those things in place and you show up consistently, you will grow your business and change the whole trajectory of your business and your life. All right. Step number 7, engage with others, of course, and they will engage with you. As I said last night, engage, and keep engaging. And by the way, I'm pretty sure I said that on Wednesday night, and I don't know if any one of you went and commented on my reels. I'm going to check after this and put every one of you in the boiled corner. The boiled corner? The boiled corner? The bold corner. Because get into the habit of doing that, yeah? Get into the habit of even saying, hi, Denise, on my reels, because the more you do that, you will get yourself in the habit of engaging with others, because I'm going to say hi back to you and it's going to just G you on and get you going. Yeah? Does that make sense? Yeah? Hi, Lindsay's little son. Hi, buddy. So Mike says, I get maybe, over on Instagram, Mike saying, I get maybe 300 to 500 views on posts on Instagram and like 4,000 on LinkedIn. Brilliant. Mike's doing brilliant over on LinkedIn, which is fantastic, guys. It goes back to what I always say. There is customers and clients to be found on every platform, and we get visible on the platform that we want to grow on. And the more consistent and the more visible we are, the more we grow. Yeah. Step number 8 is authenticity. Of course it is. Be your goddamn self. Everybody else is taken. I need to watch my P's and Q's now because Lindsay's son is there. Hi. Oh, he can't hear me. Can't hear me. I'd be like, careful. But I should anyway. Should anyway. It's a bad habit. Be yourself because everyone else is taken. Okay, so be the real you. People will love you for you, your quirks, your personality. Don't try to be somebody else. We all get comparatinitis. Yeah, that's a real word, you know. I don't know how to spell it, but comparatinitis is when we are looking online and we're like, oh my God, you know, and she's doing that and or she's doing this, I should do that, or you know, oh, I should be doing that. You know, and as I said the other night, you see my reel and you think, oh my God, I should be doing cartwheels on Instagram like Denise is doing, you know? No, you definitely don't have to do cartwheels. Thank God. But we've got to do what's authentic to us and what's cohesive to us, you know? And it's figuring out who you are and how you want to show up because you are your own brand. You got to get visible. There's no better way for people to get to know, like, and trust you, but showing that beautiful little face on video. Step number 9, we touched on this the other night, and it's building up that credibility. I'm going to ask you guys right now to take a photo on your phones and go to Instagram and make sure that you tag me and tell everybody that you were here. Because what is that? Social proof. Yvonne says, hi, Denise. These are fantastic tips. I'm looking forward to taking. You're welcome. I'm glad you're here, Yvonne. Social proof, guys. Social proof is so important. And we often forget. We often forget to say, hey, you know, will you give me a review on Google? Will you give me a review on, you know, Facebook? Or will you tag me in your Instagram stories? So what would happen if we have 13 people here watching? What would happen if all 13 of you posted in your Instagram stories after this and tagged Denise Inspired and said, great class tonight, Denise? How cool would that be for my visibility? What do you think that would do for tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock for people coming? Because that means people who were meant to come go, fuck it, I missed it. I want to go. And that is what we bring in our businesses. We create FOMO. So if somebody has bought from you and they loved what they bought and you say to them, would you mind giving me a review or a tag on Instagram? Other people see it and go, oh my God, I want that. Does that make sense? It's how it works, guys. Yeah. So work on your social proof. Don't be afraid to ask for your reviews. Put the big girl pants on, as I say, my big Bridget Jones, get them on, pull them up, or my Superman pants, Superwoman pants, and just ask. You know, take the leap of faith and say, hey, would you mind giving me a review? Would you mind tagging me in your stories? Social proof is gold. Absolute gold, guys. Step number 2, or 10. Step number 10, we got there. Step number 10. What do you think it is? Take feckin' action. Yeah? So you guys can be here with me. A lot of you were here on Wednesday night. Most of you, you know, you're here tonight. Hopefully you will all be here at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, if Saturdays aren't too bad for you. This means absolutely sweet F all. If in a week's time you go, what's your one's name again in the pink cardigan and the pink top on Instagram? What's her name? You know, your one who was going on about, you know, visibility and all. I can't remember her name. Not that you could ever forget me, of course. But seriously, write down what you want to get done, decide what you're going to do, and take action. Honest to God, I can bring you along. I talk about the authority builder and I talk about getting you in a headlock, in a lovable headlock, and getting you to do the work, but I cannot do the work for you. I can show you, I can coach you, I can push you, I can persuade you, I can do all of those things. But at the end of the day, your success in your business depends on you. And for so long, a lot of us are hiding. For so long, a lot of us are playing small. And I, for one, 2025, I am kicking on. Yeah, I am kicking on. So no one is coming to save you or your business. So you got to be your own superhero. I have a little story about this image. I got this photograph taken, where was I? Orlando. One of the first business events I went to in the States about 7 years ago. I had signed up with a coach over there, Chad Thibodeau. Great man, love him. But I was working with him, and as part of this a mastermind we went to, we got a photo shoot. I was not the girl in this photo. Like, I think looking at that, I'm like, yeah, I look confident. I was not confident. I was dying inside. When I got those photographs back, because the guy said to me, give me your Superman pose, you know? So I did it. I didn't show that video on Facebook or anywhere for about, I want to say nearly 2 years. I would not put that photo out because I was like, oh God, look at me, my face and my tail. I can't be putting that out. Now I'm like that. Yeah, come on, let's go. You know? And it's digging deep and like pushing yourself. Pushing yourself. Now I fucking love that photo and I love that pose and I often do it. But it's reminding myself how far I've come as well. So where are my action takers? I want you to type yes in the comments if you're ready to take action. Same over on Instagram, and I'm going to take a sip of water. Remember my beautiful, crispy, cold water from the other night when we talked about sales? I'm going to have some of that. Yay! Yay. And also, well done, guys. A lot of you have already booked in for calls with me. A lot of you have already had calls with me. And a lot of you have already signed up for the Authority Builder. So congratulations. I'm super excited to work with you. Did you know the number one reason, I touched on this the other night, the number one reason why businesses fail on social media or fail in general, why they go under? Obscurity. Now, if you're like me, well, no, most of you are more academic than me. I had to Google obscurity. I was at a talk in the States and the guy said this and he said obscurity. And I was like, phone out. What the heck does obscurity mean? Obscurity is the state of being unknown, inconspicuous, or unimportant. And of course, as business owners, we don't want that. We do not want to be unknown. This is Elaine, my lovely pal Elaine. So Elaine joined up with in the Authority Builder last April. So when she joined, she does grinds for teenagers and kids online. So she was literally swapping time for money. She was burning herself out because she was working all the hours. So she was doing up to 8 hours on Zoom. And anybody who's ever in the coaching or teaching space, that is colossal. 1 hour on Zoom is exhausting, but she was doing it back to back all day. So she was burning herself out, you know, she was doing okay in the business, you know, revenue wise was kind of okay, but she was like, I can't, there was no growth, there was no space. She joined the Authority Builder for this reason. And with my guidance, she launched her group classes rather than her one-to-ones. All right. She started to work on her visibility. She started to show up on Instagram. She also uses the one with the clock, the other one, but she was showing up most days, doing her reels, doing her tips, doing all the things. 1 week into the Authority Builder, Elaine messaged me to say that she had added an extra 200 to her weekly income by simply increasing her prices. Because the first thing I told her to do was, right, take that hourly and increase it. Okay, that's the first thing. She did that, and then she launched the group packages. So anyone new who came along, she said, well, I don't have any more one-to-one spots, but I do have a spot here that would fit for your child, you know, junior cert maths or whatever. And she launched them. So fast forward to now, and Elaine has more than doubled her monthly revenue and her yearly revenue, but she's cut her working hours per week. And that to me is the best part. Revenue is great. Of course it is. We want it. But she bought back her time and bought back her life and now has more time to do the things that she loves. And that's what it means to be an Authority Builder. That's what we want. Does that make sense, guys? So we want you to become known for something. We want you to buy back your time. March 2020 was when I launched the Authority Builder. It's almost 5 years old. I do have to have a party, by the way. Actually, that's a great idea. Let's have a party in March. 5 years. Can we all agree from this day forward that we are going to become authorities? Throw me my favorite. This is my favorite muscle in the chat, or a yes, or anything. Same over on Instagram, that we're going to become authorities in our industries, and we're going to stop hiding, and we're going to actually become known for something. So now that we've decided we're going to show up as authorities, we're going to fix the obscurity problem. I want you to imagine, close your eyes if you want, but imagine what your life and your business would look like in 3 months or 6 months if you did even some of this work. Imagine if you launched your own program. Imagine if you took that leap of faith and said, you know what, guys, it doesn't have to be, I'm going to get 100 people into a membership and you could say, I'm going to get 4 people into a group and I'm going to teach them what I know. I'm going to create a step-by-step process, something that you already do one-to-one, and you could take 4 people together online and teach them. And that works, and you go, whoa. So instead of getting the revenue from 1, you got it from 4. Okay, that looks great. I'll try that again. This time I'll do 6. This time I'll do 10. That's where I want you to go to. Let's say you're selling a product. You don't have to, say, oh, I'm going to get 100 people to buy into a subscription of a product. Let's say you're selling pens and you say, Hazel over there comes over to me and says, hey, Denise, I want to buy your pen. And I say, well, Hazel, actually, I know you use a lot of pens. So instead of buying the pen, I could sell it to you for 20 quid. It's a pretty cool pen, I could sell it to you for 20 quid. Or I could post you 1 per month, because you'll use 1 per month for $19.99. But because you're part of my VIP, you also get my video about how to use the pen effectively. And you also get notes from me about how to, you add value. Does that make sense? But oftentimes when it comes to something like that with a subscription model, we cannot see how to get it started. And we also think, oh my God, like what if 100 people buy it and I can't fulfill it, and you get scared. All you need is 1 or 2. One of my clients recently, Margaret, she launched her VIP facial club. 2 people bought it before Christmas. That is brilliant. She only talked about it a couple of times on her social. That's 2 people paying her monthly for the whole year. So now it's January. She gets to multiply that. You can't multiply a 0, but you can multiply 2. And she's going to grow that. That's what we want. Make sense? Imagine that you are fully booked. Imagine you've launched your online program to buy back some of your time. All you need is the belief and the know-how, guys. And I know, because I've been where yous are, because a lot of yous don't believe it. A lot of yous are going, can I believe it? Should I believe it? What? Could I do it? I don't know. So what I say to you, and what I will say to everybody, is borrow my belief that you can do it. If I believe that you can do this, then believe that you can. And I can teach you the know-how. I can teach you the tools, all the tricks and everything to do it. That's the easy part. It's believing in your heart and getting it done. That's the part that you've got to do. So let's go. So are you in? Let me know who's in. Give me an in if you're in. And I want to tell you a little bit more about how the Authority Builder works. I'm going to fly through this bit, and it's going to take me less than 3 minutes because I know a lot of you were here the other night. So I'll go really quickly. So let me ask you, if there was a way for you to become that expert that you're known for, and no longer hiding, but instead embracing it. Imagine if you were no longer obscure. Would that be good? Would you want that? Of course. Would you be willing to work for it? Of course. So imagine if you launch your digital assets, raise your rates, become completely sold out without ever having to spend money on ads as well. We don't want to be doing that. Facebook, Instagram, Google ads, all that stuff. We've all heard, as business owners, we've all heard that we are the brand, right? But are you actually living that? Are you actually building a brand? Building a brand for you for the future? Because I want this for you. I know you are working too hard, guys. Every single one of us is working too hard. Even I am. I'm not over here sitting over here being Miss Perfect. I've done a lot of work and I'm continuing, but I ain't perfect. Absolutely not. So I go get fits of working too hard, Are you paying yourself last? Sometimes we're paying all our bills and paying people and then it's like, I didn't really pay myself, but sure, it's fine, depending on where you have your business set up. If you're doing that, that's quite common with people who have staff or have overheads. I know that you feel guilty that you don't get enough time. How do I know? Because I was you. And I feel this in every part of me. I was there and I have been there very recently, but thankfully less now. I'm not perfect, no, but I am evolved enough as a businesswoman to know my worth and to know the value that I bring to the table. And to know when I'm undervaluing myself, and to know when people are undervaluing me, and to know where to draw that line and that boundary. And I want that for you guys. I want you to have more time. I want you to have more profits, and I want you to have the life that you deserve. And this is exactly why I created the Authority Builder. And I want to talk to you about your next steps and what your pathway is. So I want to help you build your authority online. Together, we will work on your credibility, your visibility, your assets that you're going to sell. So your online course, your program, your book, if you want to write a book, your ebook, your podcast, if you want to launch a podcast, whatever it is you want to launch, I will help you launch that. So they are your assets. Of course, your pricing, up that pricing straight away. And of course, that confidence. Yeah. What you will learn: build your personal brand, the why and the how to boss your live videos, the confidence to show up, who's your perfect customer, how to get clear on your message, creating your short form videos, pricing for profit, profiting from Facebook, bossing Instagram, growing on doing business on LinkedIn, tying it all together with the content circle. That's all the marketing and social media side of it. On the other side of it, we are going to build out your assets. So we're going to write your ebooks, use ChatGPT to save your time, and build your online course, build your online program, your membership, your subscription, whatever the case may be. And the outcome will be your omnipresence online. So you'll start to show up everywhere, and people say, I see you everywhere now. And you go, yes, it's working. You know, showing up online without it taking up all of your time, setting up your social channels so that your followers are growing, clients and customers finding you for free without you having to pay for ads. Build that confidence, creating habits and disciplines within your marketing and within your business so that you can grow without it taking all of your time, creating your own course, membership, program, subscription model, whatever it is. And of course, building a profitable business without burning ourselves out. It's a big one. When sales are a direct result of your marketing, you have got to show up and market yourself. What happens as a small business is we market ourselves, then we make a sale. Then we go off and we fulfill that sale and we forget to market ourselves because we're busy in the business doing the thing. And then we fulfill that, and then we turn around and we've got no more sales. And we go, feck, I've no sales. Why have I no sales? Oh, I was quiet all week because I was doing. So we need to get out of that, because that puts our revenue like this. That's where we want to get away from. So you'll have access to me live on Zoom every week. We've live Zoom calls, we've social media content creation, and we have recorded trainings, we've live group coaching calls, we've one-on-one coaching calls, we've WhatsApp access, we've check-ins on WhatsApp, you have a Facebook group with 10 like-minded business owners. We're going to network with each other, we're going to support each other, encourage each other, and build that friendship. There's peer-to-peer learning, because there'll be other women in there. Some have built their online courses. Some have built their visibility. Some have never built visibility, but have a very profitable business, or vice versa. So we learn from each other and all boats rise together. You get your Authority Builder brand new workbook and your welcome pack in the mail. You get your welcome box when you join. So let's build your dream business while building your dream life. The Authority Builder is a proven process that works, but it only works if you do. And the Authority Builder is for you if you're ready to take action. If you know you are meant for more, but you need some help and some guidance to get there. So pricing. The Authority Builder could sell for 10,000. And when you look at the results the clients are getting, and all of the time you get from me, it is worth it. But imagine if you could pick up just one more client, and would it be worth it? The price for the Authority Builder program, the 12 weeks, is 3,997. So it's 3,997 for the program, guys. But I said this the other night, and as I said the other night, I've never done this before, and I mean that like hand on my heart, legitimately. But I actually am loving this angel number now. So 3333 is my new angel number, and it means liberation and success. So that is the price that I will give the Authority Builder for you. But this is a one-off upfront payment. If you want a payment plan, you can get one, but it won't be at this price. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. So today, I want to offer you a free Kickstart Your Success call. What I'm going to do, guys, if you have not already booked in, do it now. If you booked in from the other night and you're signed up for the Authority Builder, brilliant. I'll be seeing you guys next week anyway. But if you haven't booked in for a call with me, this is the free call that I'm offering to you guys. What it is it's 30 minutes on Zoom with me. We will spend the first 15, 20 minutes talking about your business. You'll tell me where you're at, what you're struggling with, what you need, what you feel you need. And then we will, I will look at your Instagram or your Facebook or whatever channel you're on and you need help with, and I'll give you some tips that you can change immediately to get you moving. So I'll give you that. And then for the last 10 minutes of the call, I will introduce you to, we'll talk about the Authority Builder or any of my other programs. I do have 2 other springboard programs that are pathways into the Authority Builder. I have Kickstart Your Authority, which is a 5-week program, and I have the Be Inspiring Social Media School, which is an online monthly membership. So I have both. Okay, so are 3 things. So we can talk about them on the call. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is book in if you haven't already. And anyone who's watching on the replay, the link for that will be below or in your emails, or find it somewhere. So thanks for watching the replay. I'm still on Zoom, but I am going to stop the recording. So